Alright, well, we're working on the old Firehazard Fairlane again. And we're going to get rid of this felt since we've circled around under the hood bits. And we're tired of the hood hitting these billiard balls because it rubs on all the hood, keeping the back end up. We're also going to get rid of this puller fan because we don't know, it doesn't work. And more of this disgusting wire. All the room for activities!
Like all the wiring.
Yeah. Alright, we're just going to start cutting and chopping and pulling wiring out of the way and LED strips that didn't work, and we got to take these guys off. Oh, that one was going to come off. Bye-bye billiard ball. Oop, it's over there now. We're going to pull all the horns out because they're not wired correctly anyway, and just rid of all that living under the hood. Well, he works over there on that wiring rat's nest. I'm going to work on this solenoid because, you know, pro tip, if you need hots to things, you just tie it right to the battery cable. That's an inline fuse. I mean, that makes it okay. Now take lessons, everybody. This man was the master of the twisted wire. Look at that. Made like his own little wire nut. And then this little guy, just, oh yeah, all the twisted wire. Well, the wiring loom going over to the battery is gone. Pulled it all back to here. I'm just going to start stripping this whole thing out and pulling it back through the firewall, and probably run some new wires for the starter. Think so. Now you really got to take in what you're looking at there. That's the gas pedal hole. That's where all the wiring comes through. So we're going to put another hole just to kind of alleviate all of that. Oh yeah, put more holes in it. I can kind of show you that starting sequence now because it won't exist by the time we're done. So it was key on, and then it was light switch on, that switch, and then you could start it off this horn button. So you could start it off of the physical horn itself, and there was another horn button underneath the hood you could start the car from. And yeah, that was 3 different ways to start it, and a sequence of switches that had to be on. And if you didn't get the sequence right, sometimes it would start, sometimes it wouldn't. The counterpart here has been tearing away at the front. He has taken off all of what the previous owner considered was Tranny cooler fans. Yeah, they're computer fans. They might have been doing something. I don't know. More stuff for the bucket. Our Tranny might overheat. Oh no! I will figure it out. You can kind of see that Tranny cooler down there is mounted incorrectly. But possibly we'll just mount it the right way and let the clutch fan do its job. You know, stuff. We got this little vacuum gauge here, and it's not mounted in any way, shape, or form. Due to the non-mounting, it has to go. So, we're going to lose our economy gauge. So sad. See that fuse there? That fuse is attached to a piece of rubber hose plugging a vacuum port, because he couldn't fuse a single wire in this car, but he could totally fuse a vacuum line. That's classy. Alright, as we dug into this wiring harness, which is the main culprit of issues to this car, we realized Firehazard Fairlane may have actually been on fire at some point. That is some melty wire. All the melty wires. Now mind you, there was a lot of things on this car that didn't work, and we wondered why, but now we know. You know, speaker wire is good for everything, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the melties. This one's being stubborn. The Wallard.
It's threaded.
Oh, threaded the billiard ball on this side? Well, I don't think we threaded it as much as we just like straight up twisted it on there until it had threads. So yeah, that's fixed. Maybe the hood will close now. There's our bucket of things. There's a lot more cleanup going on. But I'm going to bring you to the inside because we've been pulling wires back in there. And it's looking gross in here, so I got a lot to do under the dash. But this is the one I wanted to point out. This wire is all of about that long, and it's been painted, and let's count the splices in a single wire. 1. Now mind you, he was the master of the twist. There's 2. There's 3. There's also, notice, heavy gauge, light gauge, back to the heavy gauge, and then another one right there. I think it runs over to a radio. I'm not sure yet, but it's a lot of wire and a lot of twists. He just must have got everything out of a spare wire bin.
Oh, electrical engineer, he was not.
No, sir. Now we got to dry off an Impala because it started to rain. So Fairlane gets to be outside. Alright, well, if you remember back in the original video, I had to put these zip ties in to pull this thing back up because the baling wire was holding it down. I didn't have the vehicle jacked up when I did that, so it was a real pain. Now I'm tracing the wire to get this electric fuel pump working back again with the key. And this is quality. And then it goes to more quality. So double quality. That's definitely what you want to see running your fuel pump hot underneath the car. And yeah, a lot of twisties. So, you know, that's how I tighten all my hose clamps, for sure. See that fancy mirror in there? Man, this guy was into his craftiness. Real crafty. So yeah, we're gonna pull that out because it wasn't doing anything anyway, and
It's not attached.
yeah, I don't think it's attached.
It's not.
So
It's got a big rubber seal around it. It's just pushed
it's just
in with
floating in there.
Yeah, it's just got the two of the most skookumist of bolts.
Sweet. Okay,
All right, cool.
this guy's gonna work on that, and I'm gonna go back to working on the fuel pump. We got real fancy under here, and we got rid of all those little wiring nuts. Old wire's definitely still there. We got rid of the baling wire, and we did one better because, you know, we mounted the fuel pump. Novel ideas and grounded it super goods. Alright, so yeah, it should work way better. Alright, we have rewired many things. Traced out the whole entire key switch so we could possibly run it off the key. Oh, magic idea. So, we've got everything hooked back up. We got a hot wire ran again now. We're going to try to give her a shot. There she is. It runs again. That's promising. Alrighty. Moving on. We got to keep dressing this thing in. Now that we all run again and move, we have this old air cleaner that doesn't breathe well. It's pretty old. Probably could wash it. I might do that later, but it just doesn't fit great. So grabbed a Chevy air cleaner because that just seems right. And we're going to make a new stem. I got lots of extra stem. I got to mark it, and we'll have a new air cleaner on there. Alright, we're going to work on a bunch of maintenance items. That's all got to come later. Maybe get rid of these junk hoses, hopefully. And these junk hoses. Everything's a junk hose and just ballooned so badly. But, you know, that makes this better, right? It's a Chevy. We got the nice little Ford tie down on there. America, heartbeat. Oh yeah, look at all the lack of ugly wiring now. It's so nice. Firehazard Fairlane's really coming around.